Hello, welcome back to the garden. Today I thought we'd take a look at Ensete or Ensete, depending how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Not sure which one is actually correct. Maybe if you know, you could drop a comment below. But for the purpose of this video, we'll use Ensete because that's what I've known them as for many years. Just look at it, stunning in the garden, absolutely stunning. Lovely red undersides to the leaves. The emergent roller looks fantastic. What can I tell you about Ensete? In 1769, James Bruce sent word back to the UK that he'd discovered a new species, unlike any banana he'd ever seen. Indeed, he declared it wasn't a banana. Locally it was called Ensete or Ensete, grown for food. There's about 300 different wild stroke cultivated varieties in Ethiopia. It's grown this way rather than combining all the better characteristics into one plant. The farmers in Ethiopia are clever enough not to do this because if drought hits, which it can in Ethiopia, famine can hit, disease can hit. If one cultivar or one variety of Ensete is lost, then they haven't lost everything because they still have all the other characteristics they like. It's used as a food crop. It feeds 20 million people in Ethiopia. It's harvested for the leaves. Everything is used. They feed the cattle with it. They make a type of bread with it. It's a really versatile plant. You get better yields per acre of those than you do from cereal, than we get from cereal crops in the UK. So it just shows you what a versatile plant it is. In the UK, in the exotic stroke tropical garden, we grow it because of its stunning looks. What you're looking at here is a baby. This can grow to huge proportions, so big that you can't move them. Sometimes their demise is the actual monstrous size they end up being because you just cannot store them for the winter. It's not frost hardy, so needs protection in the winter. I like to plant them in the ground for the summer. You can keep them in pots. They never attain such a large size in a pot as they do in the ground. The problem being when they attain a really large size in the garden, they become more and more difficult to move. And at some point you have to call it quits and start again. But it's quite a wonderful plant. With Ensete, the leaves are the larger part of the plant. We'll quickly look at, this is a Musa basdew next to it. The false stem, because it's not a true stem, becomes taller on those in the banana. With the Ensete, the leaves are the bigger part. The stem at the bottom remains smaller. Quite bulbous, can I go in and show you? It remains small. The leaves become huge. By this I mean up to 20 foot tall in the wild. If you could keep moving it or had somewhere to grow it under glass in this country, you could attain that size in this country. Wonderful, wonderful plant. This one is not the only Ensete I grow in the garden. I also grow Hibina. We're going to take a look at that now. That has green leaves and slightly redder mid ribs to the leaves. We'll take a look at that. It's a slightly different looking plant, but very rare in cultivation in the UK. So this is Musa Hiniba, another wonderful plant for the garden. Rare in cultivation in the UK. There's a similar plant to this Ensete Ventricosum that has a much redder mid section to the leaf. If you look at these ones there, they're red but not stunning red as in the other one. I've grown the other form before to quite a large size. As I was saying a while ago, the problem comes in the winter when you need to store them. If you've got a huge orangery or conservatory or somewhere to store them, you can keep them growing in the winter, ticking over. They don't need a lot of heat. They go semi-dormant and tick over. If you give them more heat, they'll keep growing. The problem is, if you keep them growing, one year I had the idea that it would be a good idea when my wife was out to move a large one into our bedroom at our previous garden. So I spent the morning digging it out. I put a waterproof tray on the carpet in the bedroom, pulled it up there, thought, oh, that'll be a wonderful surprise. What I didn't take into account was when you keep them in a centrally heated house, they try and keep growing. They still grow at quite an alarming rate, but also they drip water from the ends of the leaves. So what we ended up with was everywhere a leaf overhung the carpet was a soggy carpet. So probably not one of my better plans, and actually I ended up getting evicted out of the bedroom, moved to somewhere with a tile floor. I'll be honest, when they get large, they are quite hard to accommodate in the winter. Now I've got a greenhouse, it's not such a problem. I keep it just frost free, and they can sit in there and do their thing in there, but just bear in mind, the bigger they get, the heavier they are to lift and to store. But don't let that put you off growing these wonderful plants. Just look at them. This is a baby. This was, I don't know, 2-3 leaves when I got it, with a very thin pseudo stem. Look at it now, thickening up lovely. There's a lovely blush, like bluish hue appearing on the stem. It's put on several leaves where the cold starts of the summer. It's now warmed up and you can almost watch the leaves grow. They grow that quick. These are quite hard to get hold of at the minute. They're rare in the UK. Seeds aren't available. The only way you can propagate these is by cutting the plant down. It seems extreme, but what you have to do, you cut the plant off at the base, mark 4 sections onto the top to damage it, and what you get is little pups appearing. This is the way the farmers in Ethiopia propagate to keep their stocks going. They do the same. Once they get to a certain size, they chop them down, notch the top, and the babies that spring up are then moved on and planted out for the next generation. It's the same with these, but considering this is a rare and expensive plant as bananas go, you've got to be quite brave to actually chop it down and do this. The chap I obtained this from had done this, and he did it really well to his credit, and he got loads and loads of babies off, hence he can spread them around. And I have one today, because if not, you'd look long and hard to get one of these in the UK at the minute. I think when I last looked, there is a couple available on eBay still. Not that he's selling, that someone else is selling, but you need to get in quick, and they're not a cheap plant. But wonderful plant for the garden. I wouldn't be without them. Musa Bear's-dew is a good hardy banana. The Ensetes add a pop of the exotic to the summer garden, and they do it. Once they get bigger, they're really in your face and make a statement. I'd absolutely recommend these for the exotic garden. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and we'll come back soon and have a look what else is happening at Heathcroft Garden. For now, goodbye.